So how y'all feeling? Y'all good? Oh man, boo! I got a clicker. I'm excited. I came from Philadelphia. I woke up at 5:40. Oh, my fault. Minus 45. 5 o'clock I woke up. Then I hit the snooze button. I closed my eyes. I swear I thought I blinked. I woke back up. It was 5:10. I said, let me go because I'm very excited about doing this. So I want y'all to clap it up for yourselves. Thank you for listening so much. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Now, I'm going to talk to you about a youth poetry program. It's called the Philadelphia Youth Poetry Movement. I started in 2006. It's dedicated to youth poets. And it's really about, I hear the conversation about authenticity a lot. And when I started this program, I really wanted young people to open up. When I started teaching in 2003, I saw that hip-hop and spoken word was the language of this generation, and that's how they chose to open up. It was a holistic experience, and me being a poet myself, I figured what I can do with the classroom is I can shift it a little bit. So many times, traditional pedagogy, education itself, we get so caught up in statistics and numbers, we are using numbers actually to kill off our children's humanity and their genius. Now, in 2006, it was at a time when there wasn't no spaces for young poets to go and perform, and I ran into a 14-year-old and 15-year-old who I thought were pretty good. And what I did was I started a youth night. And youth night was 100+ young people coming together along with their parents at times, closing the generation gap. They were sharing their stories, they were sharing their experiences, and as they found the value of their voice, they started taking ownership of their voice. And your voice is nothing but an internal loudspeaker. So, how many of y'all have children? How many of you like your children? Okay. Right here, these are some beautiful children. This is Alana, that's Kai and Shamira, that's Jamar. That's Jamar looking out over the Pacific Ocean in San Francisco. You have to expose young people to different ways of learning, to different ways of life, to different philosophies when it comes to approaching life. We're dealing with a lot of things going on in social media. I don't know if y'all know, but there's a lot of young ladies doing things that are inappropriate and young men to get attention, because there is a lack of self-love and a lack of self-worth. So, we're talking about branding, and these are our flyers. We do writing workshops, open mic slams, and special events and performances. We've done stuff on the Arts of Avenue in Philly. Like I said, we were just in San Francisco. This is our 5th year. We're celebrating that. Now, I'm going to go back real quick. Close your eyes. And I really need y'all to smile and loosen up a little bit. I want y'all to have fun because it sucks right now. I'm really honest, and I don't have nobody impressed but God in my eyes. And, I respect everybody the same way. So I really want you to have fun. So everybody smile real quick. Just smile. Your biggest smile. Okay? Now, what is the most negative thought that you have ever heard or thought about a young person? One word. Just keep it there. Keep it there. Cool. What is the most positive thing that you ever heard when it comes to young people? One word. Okay. When we talked about negative, did you hear disconnected, hypersexualized, incarcerated, unstable, violent? Or when it came to the positive, did you hear brilliant, powerful, talented, intelligent, involved, empowered? We do not celebrate our young people the way we should on a daily basis. The news has conditioned us, the way the mainstream is. Y'all can clap. The way the mainstream is right now, we are not celebrating our young people. The first thing you hear on the news is the most negative thing. When the Eagles lost the other night, I had a shift of emotional stability. I automatically got sick. I said, you know what? I don't feel too good about my life right now, Mike Vick. I'm not feeling this. You felt the same way?
I went the other way because I'm a Giants fan.
Ooh, booyah, sports psychology. Yeah, okay. So don't laugh at my PowerPoint. I did this on purpose because I wanted to be creative and fun. Next. Oh, we talking about branding. But anyway, Tumblr, YouTube, we on all those things. Okay, I'll go over that later. Okay, submerged in the youth voice. These are real live tweets. I'd rather be wanted for murder than not being wanted at all. An unknown young man that I walked into. The call to healing is urgent. I sent this to my friends Jameer Burley, Jordan Harris, who's in charge of the Youth Commission in Philadelphia, and Izzo, you know, is a local DJ on Radio 1. And the next one is Jordan retweeting one of the tweets I sent out from another public school student. My school doesn't have new textbooks, but I can tell you where to get a gun. We're talking about the value of voice, the value of human life. I'm in the business of marketing inspiration, the business of making human life more stable, more filled with love. And I'm focused on youth. And I use poetry as a conduit, as a channel to make sure that I can get inside of these young people, to make sure that there is something else going on besides the iPod or anything else that glows and distracts them, whether it's music or whatever. I run a nonprofit, and at times it definitely functions like a business. And I don't like it, but I understand marketing is just a way of life anyway. Now, what happens when you ignore these tweets? Okay, look, the first child screaming, mom is like, shh, not respecting his voice. All he wants to do is be heard. Next, I'm screaming, do you hear me? Do you hear me? I'm showing up loud and clear, flaws and all. Set me for who I am. I'm authentic. You don't like me. So what? I have tattoos. So what? I committed a crime. So what? I dropped out. So what? I ended up homeless. Are you still willing to love me the way I am? Where's compassion when we need it? What will we really do when we leave here? Will we think about this moment a week from now because of all the social media, all the impact, everything knocking us down each moment in our lives? The next one, the mom is like, okay, I can't take it. Oh my God, I'm gonna give them Ritalin. This one, child in the dark, nobody's paying attention. Barack Obama. I love to see him scream sometimes. He's so conservative. Zach Galifianakis, that's what happens when you ignore your children. Hangover, yeah. Oh, Kim Kardashian, the shortest marriage in public history. Y'all can laugh at it if y'all want. I had to do it. So, what they need, love, love, love. As Bob Marley said, what they need is love, compassion, understanding. Stay connected with, I'm sorry. Okay, 5 E's of engaging. Now I can go with y'all. Expression. The first thing is using your voice and valuing your voice, finding self-worth in your voice, honoring your voice and who you are becoming. And when you respect who you're becoming, you understand that it's cool to be educated, it's cool to be smart, it's cool to not know, it's cool to be confused, it's cool to care about people. We are at a time when empathy has to be taught again. We do not care. We walk by homeless people. We do not care. Somebody got shot. I didn't hear that. We do not care. There's trash on the ground. We don't care. So many times, these things are happening. And that voice, that safe space needs to be created for our young people so they can do their poetry, so they can speak about what's going on. They're using poetry as a way of communication. That's all. That's it. Didn't want to skip that. Exposure, exposing young people to new things. When you take them across the country, when you give them new opportunities to learn, when you show them different ways, when you show them the person they can be, when you give them tangible, meaningful outcomes of what their life can look like, they will change it for themselves. They will not rely on you. You teach them how to be advocate of themselves. You give them the tools. They build their own homes. Exploration. Exploring your identity, exploring your character. What's your strengths and weaknesses? How did I get here? Why am I learning this way? Education. We talk about the 21st century thinker all day. We want our children to think outside the box. We talk about them dreaming big, becoming the creative and critical thinkers of tomorrow. But once again, we talk about it. They're the inventors of the ideas. Poetry has the ability to transform the lifeless learner into the lifelong learner. It alters the way young people view their education. How am I learning this? Why am I learning this? Why is this important to me? How will this serve me in my life? How many of you have had a class like that? Raise your hand. And it made you think about, why am I learning calculus? I hate math. I'm never going to be an accountant. Why am I learning physics? I'm not interested in going to NASA. Why am I learning these things that I may never use again in my life? With education, for example, there are 4 poets from PYPM. We did a poem called Chamber Music. Chamber Music was a poem that was about a war veteran who was homeless, came back, became schizophrenic due to post-traumatic stress disorder. These 4 young people, teenagers, had to go explore the identity, the issues, research and research and research what that life is like. That is cooperative learning. That is education. And when they go perform that poem, read that poem, and put it on YouTube, it now becomes communal learning. Each one reach one, teach one. They learn that learning doesn't just happen inside the classroom, but that learning is everywhere outside of them, but especially on the inside, which we seem to neglect the most. If we mix the internal education with the external education, now we're talking about whole person education, where a student can address the mental, the spiritual, the physical, the emotional issues that's going on, which creates a higher degree of self-awareness. And that is key. Being aware of how you feel when you feel that way. That is the difference between the best unwritten poems, when a child has an outburst in the class, or the bullet fired in the street. These are young people who want to be heard, but they find another way to communicate. And sometimes it's deadly. When they're not speaking, they become silent. That is death. Nobody wants to be a prisoner to themselves. They all have feelings. And when these young people turn around and transform, it becomes empowering. We've done food drives. We worked at shelters. We've done all types of things. And I'm going to get more to empowerment because I don't want to take up that much time. I know y'all hungry. Okay. I went over the value of voice, and I've said all that, so I'm not even going to go there. Oh, social media. You are now at the point, and these young people are now using this to the full degree. How many of y'all have a Tumblr? Okay, cool. How many of you have a YouTube channel? Cool. How many of you have an Instagram? How many of you have a Facebook? How many of you LinkedIn? How many of you have, that's it, Twitter? You see in the middle, 6 degrees of separation. Now it's like down to 2. But if I could reach with one tweet, I can reach 4 or 5 different subject matters. These young people learn that if I have something on my chest and I want to be heard, I can just type it in. The other part of that is where they start losing social skills like making eye contact, or turning away when they're speaking, or being afraid of being close to people. The world is getting smaller, but we're moving away from each other. That's scary. So we got to find a balance where this can serve the highest good for us all. So, Kavi, quick story. Kavi is a poet. I met her when 2007. We're doing a writing workshop. She came into the class. She was timid. She was shy. She wrote some of the most beautiful poems I've ever seen. All right? She didn't believe in her voice. As time progressed, she moved on, she kept working, and she started speaking up. In 2009, she made a team that actually went to Chicago to perform in the Brave New Voices poetry competition, which is the biggest youth poetry event in the world. Over 50 teams. Kavi's right there, getting in front of her peers, doing poems that are authentic about her experiences in a safe space. In 2010, she made the team again, then she traveled to Los Angeles. She grew phenomenally. When she came back, she ended up being homeless. She battled with it. As soon as she got her own place, she started taking in poets. It was almost like it was the Underground Railroad for poets. And she became a better mentor and a role model. And we're talking about peer mentoring. And then she went on in 2011, this year, to not only be a mentor or be a role model, but also a coach, and coach the team to the championship this year. Y'all can clap it up for that. We're talking about a child that didn't speak up or believe in her voice, but can write. And she turned around being a leader and is now in her 2nd year in college. That's amazing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm geeked. I mean, you can look at me all you want, you got to, but yeah. It's about transformative change, It's about finding the value of voice, finding the value of self, loving self, and reaffirming that on a daily basis. Okay, now stay connected with us. Tweet us, PYPM215. YouTube us at our channel, PYPM215. Blog with us on Tumblr. Get LinkedIn with us. And then you can take pictures with us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Oh, yeah, and you can tweet me too. Just Greg Poet, because I like saying stuff like that. And Jeff, do I still got time to do the poem, or we going to let people? Y'all don't mind me doing a short poem for y'all?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just to make you think about what you drink on a daily basis. I'm pretty sure we're all intelligent in here. We realize that there are natural resources that can alter the way we change our lives. I had a big idea. I wanted to do a presentation on bullying and how we can use branding to shift that dichotomy. You know, we live in a country, go around, oh, a smaller country, I'm going to take it. And I wanted to talk about that, but this poem is called There's Something in the Water, and I'll just get into it. So, there is something in the water. There is something in the water. Maybe it's the resurrection of Lazarus, or maybe it's Jesus Christ, or maybe it's Malcolm X spliced with a little bit of Marcus Garvey. There is something in the water. HIV, diabetes, cancer, lead poisoning, rickets, calcium deficiency, osteoporosis. Man, we need to get focused. Because the same people that pollute the water and drop chemicals in the water clean up the water and sell it back to us. Making sure we have no choice but to drink the water, take showers in the water. Yes, there is something in the water like blood and sweat and tears, blood, sweat, and tears, bodies of a slave ship, bones that drift, blood on the surface of the same substance that was used to cleanse our sins. We are still in the water. Cold red, cold yellow, cold orange. Terrorist alerts alert that there is something in the water, from West Nile virus to anthrax to crack cocaine, now cooking in the water, then served back to the same slaves that were afraid to drink it in the first place. Now you tell me what's terrorism. As war breaks out like skin and flesh overseas, you think they're fighting over oil? Wait until they're fighting over water. You think you're paying $3.75 for a gallon of gas? Wait until you're paying $50 for a gallon of water. These rich pioneers don't care about poor people's tears. They're buying off the water wells and selling all the oil wells. People will be standing in line for the water, taking their time drinking the water, and they will not want to share their water with you, or me. You'll be making tough decisions like, yo, son, what do I buy? That dime bag of hydro, that $10 bottle of hydro? I mean, what's more important? Smoking weed for dehydration or drinking water for rehydration? But the truth is, this idiotic, egotistical nation is constantly wasting the water, while third world nations like Haiti, where Haitians barely have clean water, we are still wasting the water while they are fighting over water, having shootouts over water. Right now, somebody is dying over water, and most of us won't even drink the water. Killing ourselves softly. Soda, Bacardi 151, some vodka. You tell me what's worse, the liquor or the water? So if you want to hear the rest of that poem, you got to go on YouTube, or you can go on my Twitter. Just keep in touch with me. Stay connected. But while I'm here, just, make connections. Don't be afraid to be in my space, and you can talk to me as much as you want. I think that's it. I don't think we got time for questions. Did y'all like it? That's one question. Sometimes I just want to say I'm truly blessed. I know that everybody can't get in front of people. I have the ability to make sure that young people understand how important they are, and that they can do even more than what I'm doing, because legacy is about leaving people that are better at something than you. Just so I can get 2 questions, go for it. Anybody got a question?
Do you have transformational programs that children actually go through?
Like rites of passage type stuff? We could put, speaking of art and living, I've been involved with art and living. We met in August. And the meditation that Ms. Chopra, she did, that's so important to have young people slow down. But it's even more important for everybody in the world to slow down and listen to yourself. You're giving away your gifts. You're giving away your power by not slowing down. When you're not in touch and engaged with what's going on the inside, you're losing yourself. And everybody else has more control of you than you do. And when you don't have no control, you don't have a life. That's why a young person can hear a hip-hop song and emulate their favorite rapper. They can actually steal somebody's soul or borrow it without activating who they are. That's dangerous. We got more Lil Waynes running around than people sometimes. Like, you're supposed to be Nate McCall. You're supposed to be Joseph Clark. Why are you being Lil Wayne? You could be the next great scientist, the next Benjamin Banneker. Don't be Lil Wayne. Come on, invent a clock. You know? So there's so many things. Slow down. Be still. That's my mom's favorite thing. Slow down. Next question, last question.
Are you going to go to the New Jersey Environmental Justice Alliance meeting in Trenton tonight?
I might. You hit me with something right now. I love you, but I'm keeping it real with myself because I need to be still eventually before I crack and break, like my mother say. Slow down before you break down. Take a break before it breaks you. Those are my mother's words. Hi, Mom, if you're watching. Okay, so I love the way you put me on the spot. Try to hold me accountable or something. I'm about my work. I love y'all for listening. Thank you so much. Yo, my last one. There you go. That's for Jeff. So, much love, yo.